So today in this video we are going to discuss about femoral triangle, femoral sheath, femoral canal and also the related clinical anatomy. So first start with femoral triangle. So if you see, it's a triangular depression on front of upper one third. It's a front upper one third of the thigh immediately below the inguinal ligament. So this brown color one is inguinal ligament. So just below the inguinal ligament you can see a triangular area which is femoral triangle. So let us observe the boundaries of femoral triangle. If you see laterally, it is bounded by medial border of sartorius. So laterally medial border of sartorius muscle and medially by the roof or medially by the medial border of adductor longus. So medially medial border of adductor longus, right? And the base, you can see this is the apex, whereas this one is the base, right? So the base of this triangle is formed by inguinal ligament and the apex is directed downwards, formed by the point where the medial and lateral boundaries meet, right? The apex is continuous below with the adductor canal. So this apex will be continuous below with the adductor canal. We'll discuss even the adductor canal in this video itself. So now let us understand the roof of the femoral triangle. Of course, you can imagine it is made up of skin, right? First, after that you will have the superficial fascia, right? That superficial fascia also in turn contain the superficial inguinal lymph nodes, right? And also the femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve is also taking part in the roof of the femoral triangle, and also the branches of ilioinguinal nerve. Of course, if you remember, the ilioinguinal nerve supplies the medial part of the thigh, so ilioinguinal nerve, and also genitofemoral nerve will be somewhere over here. So these are all the forming the roof of the femoral triangle. Even the superficial branches of femoral artery with accompanying veins and upper part of great saphenous vein. You can see here the great saphenous vein, its upper part, right? And next coming to the deep fascia. So this is all the superficial fascia. So if you see, the roof of femoral triangle is mainly formed by the skin. Next is superficial fascia. In that superficial fascia you have found the ilioinguinal nerve, you have found the genitofemoral nerve, and you have found the great saphenous vein, and you have found the femoral artery and some of its branches, right? So coming to deep fascia, in the deep fascia you will find the saphenous opening. Of course, this point is called saphenous opening, right? And the cribriform fascia around it, right? So all the structures are in the deep fascia. Now coming to the floor, now the structure which you are seeing inside this triangle, all these structures are in the floor. It's formed medially by adductor longus, of course, medially by adductor longus, and also by pectineus muscle. You can see this one is pectineus, and laterally it is formed by iliacus muscle. So laterally, this one here will find the iliacus muscle laterally, right? And also you will find the psoas major muscle. So the psoas major, iliacus muscle, iliacus, psoas majors will be here. So these two muscles are found laterally on the floor of the triangle. So once again, let us recall all the structures of the triangle. Of course, a femoral triangle have a base, it has an apex, right? The base is formed by the inguinal ligament, the apex is formed between the adductor longus medial border and medial border, medially you have medial border of adductor longus, laterally you have medial border of sartorius, right? In between them you have the apex. And coming to the floor, in the floor you have of course the skin and the superficial fascia. In the superficial fascia you will find the ilioinguinal nerve, you will find the genitofemoral nerve, you will find the great saphenous vein, and also you will find some femoral artery and its branches. Next coming to, also you will find great saphenous vein, right? Next coming to deep fascia. In the deep fascia you will find the saphenous opening, and also you will find the cribriform fascia. Okay, in the floor of triangle, mainly medial you have adductor longus, and also you have the pectineus muscle, right? So in the floor you will find the pectineus and adductor longus. If you remember, the boundaries of the triangle are also adductor longus. So adductor longus is playing role in two things, that is in the boundary of the femoral triangle and also in the floor of the femoral triangle you will find the adductor longus, right? Next coming to the pectineus muscle, it is also in the floor, present medially, and laterally you have of course the iliacus and psoas major muscle. So these are the different boundaries of femoral triangle. Now let us see the content, what is present inside it. So content of femoral triangle is of course a femoral artery and its branches. Here you can see this is a femoral artery, right? And it also have some branches. And next you have the femoral artery mainly traverses the triangle from its base at the mid-inguinal point to apex. So remember that the femoral artery traverses the triangle from base, means here, right? So this femoral artery traverses from the base at the mid-inguinal point here, right, to the apex. From here it will go into the apex. In the triangle it gives off 6 branches. So femoral artery gives total 6 branches. It gives 3 superficial and 3 deep branches. The 3 superficial branches are superficial external pudendal. If you remember the cutaneous arteries, you can remember these names. External superficial extensor pudendal will supplies external genitalia. Superficial epigastric which supplies the abdominal area, and the superficial circumflex iliac which in turn anastomose with the deep iliac artery, and also superior superior gluteal artery, and you also have one more, that is the lateral femoral artery. This 3 will anastomose with it, right? And also you have some deep branches. So these are the superficial branches of femoral artery. Next your deep branches are like profunda femoris. Next you also have deep external pudendal and also muscular branches. So the profunda femoris artery is the largest branch of femoral artery. Remember, in the name itself you can see profunda femoris, profunda, deep artery, that is a deep artery of femoral artery. Okay, it is the longest branch of femoral artery, and this in turn gives rise to medial and lateral circumflex femoral arteries. So medial and lateral circumflex femoral artery are nothing but coming from the profunda femoral artery, which is in turn a branch of femoral artery. So don't get out from the video. The femoral, just we are talking about femoral artery branches. Femoral artery will give 3 superficial branches, 3 deep branches. Okay, what are the 3 superficial branches? Superficial external pudendal and superficial epigastric, right? And one more is superficial circumflex iliac. Done. Next it gives 3 deep arteries, right? What are those 3 deep? One is a deep external pudendal, and other 2 are the muscular branches. So, and also it gives a profunda femoris artery. That profunda femoris is the largest one, and it also gives rise to in turn the medial and lateral circumflex femoral arteries, right? So in the contents of femoral triangle, after the femoral artery we have the femoral vein and its tributaries. So femoral vein will accompany the femoral artery. The vein is medial to the artery, right, at the base of the triangle. You can say at the base of the triangle, but posterior medial to the artery at the apex. You can see it's posterior medial to the artery at the rate of apex. Let's come into femoral vein. It receives mainly the great saphenous vein, the circumflex veins, the veins corresponding to branches. So different femoral artery branches, veins will come and drain into the femoral vein. So femoral sheet, actually you can see here it's drawn like this, like in a brown color. This is a femoral sheet. This sheet encloses the upper 4 cm of femoral vessel. Always remember that the femoral sheet only encloses the artery, vein and lymph nodes. But if you see, the femoral sheet is not enclosing the nerve is left alone, and it's feeling so sad that it's not in a part of femoral sheet. Okay, so nerve is alone, but the vein, artery, lymph nodes all are together by means of a sheet, a best friend, femoral sheet. It is hugging these 3 structures: femoral artery, vein and also the inguinal lymph nodes. It left alone are femoral nerve. Okay, so like this you can remember this. Let's coming to the nerve. Of course, in the content of femoral triangle you have to have the femoral nerve. So remember, in the content of femoral triangle you have femoral nerve, but in the femoral sheet there is no femoral nerve. Okay, so femoral nerve is lateral to femoral artery outside the femoral sheet in the groove between iliacus and psoas major. So here will be iliacus and here will be psoas major. So in that groove you will find the femoral nerve. Okay, and it is we will discuss about this femoral nerve later in very big detail. Okay, now come back to the nerve to pectineus. Okay, it will, of course, here you have the pectineus muscle, right? So it should also be supplied by nerve, right? So that nerve arises from femoral nerve just above the inguinal ligament. It passes behind the femoral sheet to reach the anterior surface of pectineus. So like this it travels. Okay, I'm talking about nerve to pectineus. Next, coming to femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, it will be over here, right? If you remember in our before video. So that occupies the lateral compartment of femoral sheath along the femoral artery, supplies most of skin over femoral triangle. Next, coming to lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, crosses the lateral angle of triangle. Next, also you have the deep inguinal lymph node. You can see here, this lies deep to deep fascia. Okay, so this is all about some contents. So let us revise the contents. Of course, very easy. You have a vein, you have an artery, you have lymph nodes, you have nerve. That's it. So vein structures, vein, artery, nerve. But here we need to remember in this order: N A B L, navel. You can remember the word navel because first nerve, next artery, next vein, lymph, all in order, navel. So the mnemonic to remember the contents of femoral triangle is navel. Coming to the femoral sheath, it's a funnel shaped sleeve of fascia. You can see there it's mainly enclosing, right, and it's enclosing femoral vessels. The sheath is covered by downward extension of two layers of fascia of abdomen. It's formed by downward extension of fascia of abdomen. The anterior wall of sheath is formed by fascia transversalis. So remember, facial sheath is made up of anteriorly by fascia transversalis, lies in anterior abdominal wall, deep to transverse abdominis. Posterior wall is formed by fascia iliaca. So two things are forming the facial sheath. On anterior side it is formed by fascia transversalis. Posterior side is formed by fascia iliaca, which covers the iliacus muscle. Okay. So inferiorly the sheath merges with connective tissue around the femoral vessels. Femoral sheath is asymmetric. Its lateral wall is vertical. Lateral wall, this one, it's vertical, and medial wall is oblique, being directed downward, and laterally this one is a middle wall. Okay, so the sheath is divided into three compartments by septa. So what are those septa? What are those? Let us see. So the lateral or arterial compartment of the femoral artery. So lateral or arterial compartment contains femoral artery. So for that we see another diagram over here. So you can see actually our femoral sheath is converted by two septa, that is lateral septum and medial septum, into three compartments. So the lateral most compartment is having a femoral artery, and also it has a femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, right? And next the intermediate compartment or the venous compartment contain femoral vein, this one. And next coming to the medial or lymphatic compartment is the smallest, and it's known as femoral canal. Okay, so this is the femoral canal. Now let us discuss about the femoral canal in detail. So femoral canal, it's a medial compartment of femoral sheath. It's conical in shape, being wide above or at base and narrow below. Okay, it's wide at the base. The base or upper end of femoral canal is called femoral ring. So what is femoral ring? The base or upper end, either you take base or upper end, that around it, that is called as femoral ring. The boundaries of ring are important. It's bounded anteriorly by inguinal ligament. Okay, let us see it in a diagram. So here you can see this one, this especially this inguinal lymph nodes are in the femoral canal, or also you can see the femoral ring, right? So this femoral ring, anteriorly you have the inguinal ligament. You can see here this is the inguinal ligament, right? So these boundaries are important in the case of our femoral canal. So anteriorly inguinal ligament, posteriorly pectineus, right? And it's covering fascia. So medially it have concave margin of lacunar ligament. Medially it will have the lacunar ligament. Okay, and laterally it have by the septum separating from femoral vein, right? And inferiorly it will have the epigastric vessels, and they are closely related to junction of anterior walls of ring. So femoral ring is closed by condensation of extraperitoneal connective tissue called femoral septum. Okay, and the parietal peritoneum covering the septum from above shows a depression called femoral fossa. So actually in the upper side you have a parietal peritoneum covering the septums, and they show a depression. That depression is called femoral fossa. Okay, and the femoral canal contains a lymph node. Actually this lymph node, you know, this is inguinal lymph node. The other name of this inguinal lymph node is lymph node of Cloquet or lymph node of Rosenmuller. These lymphatics are also having a small amount of areolar tissue around them. So lymph node drains mainly the glans penis in males, whereas in females it drains the clitoris. So this is all about the femoral triangle, the femoral sheath, right? Remember, femoral sheath leaves the femoral nerve behind. And we have also discussed about the femoral canal, which mainly only contains the inguinal lymph nodes, okay? And finally we discuss about femoral ring, that the ring which is present either in upper side or base around this femoral canal is a femoral ring, right? And remember, these lymph nodes are also called as Rosenmuller lymph nodes or lymph node of Cloquet. Okay, so finally we'll discuss a clinical anatomy which is related to it. So sometimes you see a condition called femoral hernia. Let us switch the other diagram. So one thing before starting femoral hernia, you need to understand what is inguinal hernia and femoral hernia. Just the division of the inguinal ligament defines it. You can see the inguinal ligament. If the hernia is before the inguinal ligament, it's inguinal hernia, right? And if the hernia is below the inguinal ligament, especially in the or femoral canal where you have the lymph nodes, right? At that side, you can see here the femoral vein, the femoral artery, next comes the femoral lymph node. So at that side, if you have a hernia, that is femoral hernia. So today this is our discussion. So femoral canal is an area of potential weakness in abdominal wall through which the abdominal contents may bulge out and form a femoral hernia. So this is more common in females because the femoral canal is wider in females when compared with males, and this is also associated with wider pelvis in female and smaller size of femoral vessels in female. So this is the reason. So very easy to remember: female, femoral hernia, femoral, female. Okay. So the course of enlargement of hernial sac is typical. It passes downward through femoral canal, then forwards through saphenous opening, finally upwards along superficial epigastric, superficial circumflex iliac vessels. For reduction of such hernia, the reverse course to be followed. So in case of strangulation, the femoral hernia, the surgeon has to enlarge the femoral ring. This is possible only by cutting the lacunar ligament. Yeah, so this forms a medial boundary of ring. Normally this can be done without danger. So occasionally, however, abnormal obturator artery may lie along the edge of lacunar ligament, and cutting it may cause alarming hemorrhage. So abnormal obturator artery, the normal obturator artery is a branch of internal iliac. So this gives a pubic branch which anastomoses with the pubic branch of inferior epigastric artery. So occasionally this anastomosis is large and obturator artery, then appears to be branch of inferior epigastric, and usually the abnormal artery passes lateral to femoral canal in contact with femoral vein, and it's safe in an operation to enlarge the femoral ring. So if that obturator artery is present, then it's leading to hemorrhage. If there is no obturator artery, then it's safer to do a surgery on that femoral ring. Okay, so sometimes even if you have the abnormal obturator artery along the medial margin of femoral ring, along the free margin of lacunar ligament, such an artery is likely to be cut if an attempt is made to enlarge the femoral ring, right? So we will cut that obturator artery if you want to do this process. So this is about the femoral hernia, which is a clinical anatomy related to this part. So in this video we have covered the femoral triangle, we have covered the femoral canal, we have covered the femoral sheath, and also we have covered the femoral hernia. In the next video we'll start with the femoral artery.